Imposter syndrome. As if women don't have it hard enough already. We all have to live with a voice in our brain that says, we aren't good enough. But where does it come from? Does it affect all of us equally? And how do we find the miracle cure? Join us as we chase down our collective demons.
Welcome back to another episode of On the Rag, and today we're talking all about confidence and self-love and backing yourself.
Sorry to interrupt. Look, there's a warrant out for 3 imposters here, OK? I'm here to inform you that you've all been found out for being phony, fakey fraudsters. You suck. You're all shit. So if you just go and lie in the nearest bin for the rest of your lives, you'll be doing us all a favour.
OK, look, you're right. But can we just have, like, 15 minutes? We've got a really good episode planned and we've got, like, surprise guests and everything.
Fine, but I'll be waiting outside.
That's fair. OK, so what is imposter syndrome?
The phrase has been around since 1978. A bunch of researchers interviewed 150 high-achieving women, like they'd been recognised for their professional excellence. And they were asked why they thought they'd got to where they were, and they said either it was luck or someone had overestimated their capabilities and made a terrible mistake.
I mean, it's not like a mental health issue per se, but it contributes to anxiety and wider problems like not putting yourself out there for jobs, pay disparity, and just not enough women in positions of power.
It's almost like if you've been spoken over your whole life, been objectified, had men pander to you for sex, been paid less, had less chances to advance, you might not trust opportunities when they arrive, you know?
And of course, in lots of fields, there aren't sort of decades of experience that show you how things could go. You're flying solo, really.
Well, to illustrate just how widespread imposter syndrome is, we've got 3 very successful women with large bodies of work behind them and very exciting media careers.
Oh my God, who are they?
It's us.
Okay, here's what we've done. We have assembled a secret dossier of nice things that other people have said about us. That if something makes us blush or feel a bit queasy, we're going to take a drink. Let's begin.
Leonie was in the exceptional children's class at primary school and intermediate. It's just the truth, it's just the truth.
Michèle A'Court
Oh, crikey. Oh.
was crowned Miss Junior Hawke's Bay in 1970 because she's so goddamn beautiful.
It wasn't about being, it was, I was...
Oh, really?
I wore a crown, I got my photo in the paper. Alex, you were a mathlete. And you are the runner-up Ducks. And your dad is very proud of that.
Oh, don't be proud of me. I didn't win. I didn't win. Aiden Crimp.
Mathlete.
I was robbed. At Groove Guide, and you earned yourself a nomination for Editor of the Year. You achieved a 60% increase in readership over a 15-month period, making the Groove Guide the fastest growing publication in New Zealand for that year.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Still went out of business, though. Music writing, dying industry. A real-life Wonder Woman touring the country while pregnant, managing to raise a child on your own, pay a mortgage, and support your parents as a comedian in New Zealand. No easy feat. That is a combination of your delightful daughter, Holly, and your manager, Richard.
Oh, my God.
Very proud of you.
Oh, this is like a proper night at the bar. Everyone's crying.
Oh, that's really amazing. Oh.
Got it with the big guns.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
That's That's great. I feel good about that. Alex, you are LOL funny, according to your mum.
Oh, Mum! Oh! LOL!
Michelle.
Hello.
New Zealand Comedy Guild Best Female Comedian 6 years running. And Female Comedian of the Decade in 2010.
That's 10 years ago now. It doesn't really... It's not relevant.
All right, finish that.
Yeah, you need
Just
to drain
for
that.
comment.
Drain that. That's ridiculous. Your ex-boss says that you influenced him in how he approaches media and thinks some of your determination and bravery to challenge the status quo rubbed off on him forever.
It's really nice.
It is nice and it's true.
But there's so many people out there doing better work than me.
Oh, diminish.
Stop deflecting.
Diminish that beer. Alex, you won the Wintec Press Club Writer of the Year in 2015. Opinion Writer of the Year, Humour / Satire, at the Canon Awards in 2016. Finalist in 2017 and again this year for the Voyager Media Awards.
They just hand those out. 2015.
No, I
They
don't think they
do not.
It's a piece of paper. Piece of paper that I framed.
Hey! 2014 Port Douglas cane toad racing champion.
You were once mistaken for Britney Spears.
What? In Hong Kong. I'm really proud of that. Her article on the Bob Jones court case was the single best piece of court reporting I've ever read.
Who said that?
Everybody.
That's attributed to everybody.
I'm going to take that one, because fuck Bob Jones.
She's loud and opinionated, but always fair and often funny.
She's also lazy and insecure.
Drink your pineapple.
Woo! You are known to make feminism fun. You are the best and strongest and most loving mother and nana that ever existed ever.
Yeah, shut up now.
It's true, though.
Yeah, that's really lovely.
Makes feminism fun.
And that's hard.
That's
How many people hate feminism?
And it's serious shit. I love my daughter Alex. She is sassy and smart. I have loved watching her grow into a beautiful, strong and gifted woman. Oh, I'm crying.
And now I'm crying holding a pineapple.
I love you guys.
I love all of you.
I love you.
How many of you are there?
What a journey that was.
It was fun.
It was fun.
And weird.
A lot of deflecting. I've been thinking about.
Yes. Thinking of reasons why those things shouldn't have been said or why they didn't matter. But it was really lovely, and I'm holding on to some of those ideas.
See, I realised that I actually just deleted them from my brain. Like, I actually tried to remember what the nice things my friends and family had said about me, and I was just like, it's gone.
Really?
My brain just rejected it.
I remember honesty and courage shining through for you. So
Bravery.
Stick those on.
So brave.
Power words.
Yeah. Was it because we drank so much that you couldn't remember?
Yeah, maybe. It potentially affected my memory.
I want to make it clear that we don't approve of binge drinking. We're not recommending that.
No, we really only had a couple.
Yeah. But it is still a fun thing to do with your friends. Just have a tea or some lollies and just share some nice things about each
Put
other.
a whole dry wheat bix in your mouth every time you feel uncomfortable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because that'll help.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, when your imposter syndrome creeps up on you, what does it sound like? What does it say?
I gave mine a name. It's Madam Sneer.
Ooh.
It's just inside my ear going, you'll never be anything. Nobody likes you. It's not your turn. There's no point to this. They'll work you out.
That's so sinister.
That's really horrible.
Sinister, the whisper.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so intimate.
Mine sounds like you've only been chosen because you're a Māori woman and they just needed some diversity. That's what mine sounds like. And the problem is it's true often enough that I can't tell when it's not true.
Right.
That's nice.
That sucks.
Mine's just sort of a witch. And she's got a shawl on, and she's got a long finger, and she doesn't even say anything. She just taps me on the shoulder, and I turn around and she goes,
Oh.
I know. And she's everywhere. She's here right now. Silent witch, everyone.
Oh my God, Alex.
She doesn't even need to talk.
I think I prefer mine.
But of course, don't just take it from us, because as we've established, we are fakey phoners who are going to have everything taken away from us at any moment. So we asked some actual high achievers what imposter syndrome looks like to them.
Imposter syndrome.
I guess this is something that I feel like I struggle with most days, probably. When I'm communicating science, I don't have so much imposter syndrome, but when I'm really thinking about my research or kind of being in academia or being an academic, that's when it all comes flooding in.
I remember making a joke about how I scored 100% in an imposter syndrome test, but I didn't believe I deserved it.
I think it's been part of my life forever. Often manifest in those dreams that you have, I think we all have, of being naked in a really inappropriate place.
Imposter syndrome for me comes up to do with the things that I'm most passionate about, I think, and the things that really make my heart sing.
You know, there are those roles that you get, and you maybe got it after a long period of auditioning, and the thought comes up, they're finally going to find out that I've been faking it this whole time.
Te reo Māori. Kareau e tupuaki te reo Māori. I didn't grow up with te reo Māori. I'm trying to learn the language of my tupuna as an adult, and I'm getting it wrong all the time.
I think I've gone through most of my life feeling bad about myself, and whenever someone says something nice about me, it's a wall. I can't accept it. Yeah, it's a seed that grows in my belly, and I mean, it sounds like I'm pregnant. I'm definitely not pregnant.
How do I deal with it? Part of it, I guess, is the research that shows that there's plenty of mediocre men that make it in my profession. So if they can make it, so can I.
I do the old fake it till you make it and, you know, pretend to be that person. I would say that the older I get, the wiser I get. I know what I'm good at, and I know where and when I need to ask for help.
My other imposter syndrome is my career. I'm now returning to directing in my 40s, and it's a scary, scary prospect. I may be absolute shit at it at first, and I've just got to really be honest with myself and be kind. I'm going to get there because I have the goal and the intention.
It's hard to try and just get over it. That's why I think it's important to have other friends who have the same syndrome as you, because they're the only ones who empathise with you, who understand the journey it takes to go from feeling low about yourself to believing you can do it.
I also used to think that I had to work extra hard to prove myself, and I actually don't think that's very healthy, because you've already worked hard, otherwise you wouldn't be in the position.
You know, I'm the Governor-General. I've had to accept that I must have got some things right. It can't all have been luck all my life.
We're told from a very early age that we're not good enough, whether it's about our appearance or our abilities. You know, we're always receiving messages that then manifests even when we're really good.
When you walk into a space and there's 5 men and 1 woman, it feels like, well, maybe I shouldn't be here. I think it's very easy to be persuaded by what's in the room rather than what can be brought into the room. That sounded really insightful.
If you've been the victim of unconscious bias, then it is very difficult to have that confidence in yourself when you feel that everybody else doesn't value you.
Maybe we just haven't allowed ourselves to make mistakes, and it's okay. Because it's almost like imposter syndrome wants to come in and check on you, you know? Wants to check in on your intention. And so turn it around and make that a positive thing.
What a stacked lineup.
Amazing.
That was incredible. I cannot believe even the Governor-General of New Zealand has naked anxiety dreams. Oh, mwah.
It's really comforting to see that those successful women feel those vulnerabilities and push on through.
What do the two of you do in particular to combat imposter syndrome?
So I've got a couple of things. One is that I've named my imposter syndrome voice, the Madam Sneer thing. 'Cause I always think if you give it a name and picture it, it's a slightly more controllable thing at that point. Because you can go, piss off, Madam Sneer. And then I gather the sisters around me in my head. So I think about Alice Walker, who says that you should take a moment to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I have a right to be this self. It's really empowering for me. And my mother, who always said when I was off to go and do something that frightened me, they're very lucky to have you. Which is a great way to flip the power. And Sarah Hagi, who is the person who originally coined that phrase, God grant me the confidence of a mediocre white man. And I literally think about that quote as I walk out on stage, having the confidence of all the dickheads who are also on the show.
Yeah. I mean, I do that too.
Yeah?
It's a smaller sentence in my head. It just goes, what would a dude do? You know, and then it's like, well, they would ask for more money or they would take the job or they'd go for it, whatever, you know. I've also learned to trust fear because just from experience, all of the things that I've been the most terrified about have been the best things I've done, the ones that have offered the most personal growth. So I've learned to trust the fear. And the other thing I do is around language and trying to eliminate some of the language that diminishes my ideas. So obviously there's sorry. We all apologise too much. Sorry, I'm ranting is something I say a lot. Or putting, I guess, at the end of a sentence.
That undercuts it.
Yeah.
I love an I guess.
Does that make sense? When I know full fucking well it makes complete sense and is a good idea.
Oh my God.
But cutting some of the language out is the easiest way I found, especially if you're writing, because then, you know, it's easier to just go, no, delete that, delete that, delete that.
Yeah. A useful swap can also be switching out sorry for thank you. So instead of saying, sorry, I'm late, you say, thank you for your patience. Or sorry for ranting, say, thank you for listening to my rant. No, my articulate words.
Yeah. My forthright views.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I think one thing is clear, that we have all experienced these feelings of inadequacy. But the best thing we can do to get over it is talk about it.
Yeah, I think we've nailed this.
Done a great job.
If you will excuse us, we're going to go and see Karen and tell her to get in the far queue.
Hey, Te rā marama. We'll see you next month. It's fine. It's not a good wave, is it? Decided to do peace and then I got confused. Do you want me to do the wave again? Bye-bye.
You guys are all great. You're smart. You're smart. You're smart. You're smart. You are so, so competent. You've all worked very hard to get where you are today and you deserve all of your success. You're talented, you're strong, you're clever, you're kind, you support friends, you've got a great singlet on, you make great pastry and you're really good at spelling.